G'day guys, it is Rossco here from Third Man Up and Supercoach Swordplay, and tonight I am super pumped to be joined by Janath and Tom from Gameday Squad to break down the all-new Contender Competition that is launching on Gameday Squad just in time for round 14 of the AFL season. Now, boys, how are we doing tonight?
Doing well, mate. Glad to have you on, Tommy. It's been a while, but yeah, keen to crack into this competition.
Absolutely, mate. A little nervous. My debut over here, mate, on this side of the world. But I'm very excited. As you mentioned, new competition. It's an opportunity for people to hop on board, try out Gameday Squad, and it's really tailored at, the new users. So it's never too late. We do things a little different. Rossco, I'm sure you'll start explaining how people can get on board and try it out. But, mate, round 14, I've never been more pumped for a single round before in a season.
Geez.
Yeah, 100%. It's definitely very exciting, particularly for me. I've been super hooked on the Gameday Squad. And even though I've got a pretty decent set of players, I've got a rough idea of who's good and who's not, I still started the starter and the classic comps a couple of weeks too late to sort of be in it to win it for the season-long leaderboard. Which is why this new Contender Competition, you can jump in and get a pretty decent set of cards with what you start with. And, if you build the right squad from day dot here, you can be up there in the season leaderboard to win some pretty hectic prizes. So, obviously, I'm pretty keen, and hopefully there's a lot of people watching this that'll be super keen for it as well. We'll break it down now and sort of get into how you can win and how it sort of works. How do we reckon that should go, boys?
Let's do it. Fire away, mate. Tell me about this Contender Competition. Let's go.
Sweet as. So we've got a $12 million salary cap here. Now, those of you who play Gameday Squad will know this is a little bit higher than the starter comp. We've got an extra $2 million to play with. And over here, we've got $500,000 per bronze, $600,000 per silver, and $700,000 per gold card, which gives us a little bit of flexibility to play around with who we want. Now, something that the Contender Competition is sort of special compared to even, say, a classic competition where the budget's more or less the same. You have access in the classic competition to platinums, diamonds, all-star cards, prize cards, legends, all that sort of stuff. But here, it's purely limited to bronze, silver, and gold. So obviously, Tom, as I'm sure you're aware, you guys are really aiming this to be super beginner friendly. We don't want people coming in with really high level cards that you can pay for and all that and just cleaning up the prizes, do we?
Yeah, absolutely. And we're very confident that if you even just set an entire bronze squad, if you play the right players in a round, that you'll absolutely be able to smoke it and win here. And I'm sure as a lot of your viewers would have seen before, there's a cheeky little code you can use called Peanut that will get you 3 times 9-player common packs if you haven't hopped on board. And that's your perfect chance to try to get a couple of good silvers and golds just for signing up and using the code to then plug straight into this team and be competitive with day dot with some really awesome cards. So yeah, that's exactly what it's there for, mate.
100%. And Janath, I'm sure you're like me in a sense as well. Started off a little bit later even. How are you sort of finding the experience of sort of building a squad and getting used to the good cards? It's actually not too difficult, is it? I know it seems pretty difficult, but I think you're finding it sort of easier now that you really got your head around what's going on.
Yeah, look, I must say I'm kind of addicted. I'm kind of addicted to Gameday Squad because I spend and perhaps too much time tinkering around with my team, like overthinking player decisions sort of thing. But, geez, especially the last couple of weeks, now that I've got sort of the starter cards that I really want, I've sort of been trying to invest in some of those silvers and golds. And I feel like Contender is my kind of comp because I don't really have the platinums and diamonds as of yet. But I've sort of been accruing this sort of collection of silvers and golds over a couple of weeks, which now we'll see if it really comes to fruition there. But look, I honestly like having Supercoach has been great. Obviously, that's sort of where our first sort of love is, given that's what we talk about most of the time. But now our conversations, like if we have a 1 hour conversation, Rossco, you and I, and it was about Supercoach for that 1 hour, I feel like it's more pushed towards Gameday Squad and talking about which player to start, which player to do. Trades, like we spend so much time cooking up trades between each other. It's ridiculous. So keen to get into Contender, mate, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. The amount of negotiating I had to do to get a couple bronze cards off Janath. Those of you who play Gameday Squad would know. Getting a Johnny Noble, getting a Cozzy Pickett, they're hard to find. You got to pay up.
are.
So
Matt Kennedy.
I think Janath's got some good golds in exchange for some of these bronzes here as well. Now, another thing which is unique to the Contender competition is the fact that high-level coaches that are playing in other competitions here, if you have a look on the right, we've got Starter, we've got Classic. You can see I've got a Challenger squad here, which is entered and ready to win. Now, I'll show you here, if I've got a Challenger or a Champion squad and I go to put in, let's just put in Bronze Jack Sinclair into my Contender here, coaches who enter the Contender competition are not permitted to participate in Challenger or Champion during the same round. Now, that is a game changer because what it means is those who have invested money and spent a lot to get really high level cards, they want to play for bigger prize money and they're not going to be spending their time mucking around in the Contender competition. They're going to be playing for Champion, for Challenger. That's not necessarily what we're about here at Third Man Up. We want everyone just to be able to jump in, have a laugh, trade some cards, open up some packs, all that sort of thing. And we think that's a really good equalizer as well. I know, Tom, you guys had a lot of feedback from the community to really equalize that. And I'm sure that's what you guys are really going for as well.
Yeah, exactly right. And as mentioned, there's no reason right now that if you haven't had a crack at Gameday Squad and maybe you've heard about it or you wanted to get in and maybe you've had some of those thoughts that you mentioned where, oh, maybe I missed the mark or maybe I should have got in a little sooner. Like, you can hop in, you can compete in this competition that's tailored to brand new coaches. We've changed the packs and everything you get. So you now get 153 bronze cards on sign up. So a brand new account gets that. You can use the code as mentioned before. And then, of course, the top coaches who are in those Champion and Challenger competitions won't be coming down to Contender. So it's a brand new comp. We haven't really worked out what the winning strategy is going to be either, which I think is the most exciting part. It's a new opportunity, a new way to play. And yeah, we're just going to see this, I guess, evolve over time and what you should be doing and round to round, what cards you should be putting in.
Yeah, 100%. Now, we're both well aware that there's some pretty ripping prizes that are coming in, especially when we're only entering a team in this competition for 10 rounds. You know, it's a pretty big opportunity to really get some good cards. So I'll flick it over to you here, Tom, with some prizes here. If you wanted to take us through what you can win just by jumping in now, playing for the last little bit of the season, getting yourself around some Gameday Squad Contender competition.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can see there, we're starting from round 14, going all the way through to round 24. These prizes are paid per round. So, of course, doesn't matter whether you start in round 14. Maybe you're seeing this a little later and you want to get on board. Again, it's not too late. Hop in because all the cards that you're going to accumulate over this just for competing, you're not only going to keep for now in this season, you're going to keep it for seasons to come. We're a dynasty platform, so it's never too late. But as you can see there, first place, and you can pretty much see with all of this, it's really tailored to giving a lot of cards and a lot of packs to users. So essentially what we want to be able to do is people who can compete in Contender can win packs, can win cards, and then maybe be able to start setting a classic squad as well. And they can start branching into some of these other competitions. But first place is very juicy. It is 3 9-player unique packs, which go for $50 in our store at the moment per one, and then a 2025 Aussie Rules All-Star Player card that is nominated and given to that winning coach at the end of the season. Second place, you just knock off one of those unique packs, but you get the same thing. So first and second is equally as damaging for a coach, and it's just such a good addition to have into your squad. Third, knock off another pack, but still get that All-Star card. So honestly, top 3 here, you're licking your lips. You're bloody laughing. If you can get a top 3 finish, you can finish this season with an All-Star card. And as you mentioned, Rossco, before, you can't put a special card into this comp, but you can use those in Classic and anything higher than that. So they'll definitely be useful and a great asset to obtain for the future, irrespective. 4th and 5th, you've got some rare packs. 6 to 10, a rare pack and a common pack. 11 to 25, you get a 9-player common and a 3-player common. So that's 12 cards just there. And then anyone from 26 to 100 is getting a 3-player common pack. Now, common packs, you're most likely to get a silver and gold. There is a chance for a platinum, is a chance for a diamond, and technically there's also a chance for a legend, although very small. But just for finishing in the top 100, there's a chance you're going to get a gold Bailey Smith, maybe a Silver
Yeah.
Jordan Dawson, a Rosie, someone that you could plug in. It could be a game changer for your squad and around.
That's it.
Yeah, 100%. These rewards are very, very promising. These all-star player cards are looking very, very juicy. So, am I understanding this correctly? I thought that this all-star player card would be for first, second, and third overall for the season. But you're telling me if you finish first, second, or third in any round till the end of the year, you're getting an all-star card.
That's exactly what I'm telling you, mate. So you need to get
That is
on, set a
insane.
squad. And if you just pick the right round, you have the right players. Again, you can probably do it with just a bronze squad. Any silvers and golds will definitely be tidy to help you increase that. But man, and again, our all-star player cards are nominated at the end of the season, and they are the best performing players over this year. So you're going to see the likes of some extremely good cards. We're talking our top tier players at each position. Tristan Cherry potentially, Maxi Gorn. We're talking all the guns. Again, it is randomized, so we're not sure who you will get. But again, it's got to be a good player if they're part of the best 22 performing for the year.
Yeah, if you just think about it and you're thinking about All-Australian, it's not exactly the All-Australian squad, but that's the caliber of players.
It's the fantasy All-Australian squad.
It's Rossco. Right. It's like FIFA Team of the Year. Like, that's the best part of the year. Like, when you get those ultimate cards at the end of the season that roll over in a dynasty format, so good.
100%. Now, Janath, I reckon, I haven't quite had the time to build my contender squad. Obviously, it takes a lot of perfection, and seeing these rewards has really motivated me to dig in and do some research. But you've had some time to get into one. So if you don't mind, Janath, I reckon you should get presenting and let us have a look at how you're going to start contender for round 14.
Now, I'm going to preface this by saying I don't know if this strategy is the correct strategy. We'll obviously wait and see. Tommy, you were just telling me offline a little just before that with the salary cap, what you're saying is you can have 5 gold players and all bronzes. You can have 10 silver players and the rest are bronzes, or you can have a mix of both. So my team that I had beforehand has 4 golds. So that's Nick Martin, Maxi Holmes, Caleb Sarong, and Riley Thilthorpe, with the 2 silvers being Andy Brayshaw and Jack Sinclair. So I'm really targeting some key matchups here in Freo up against North Melbourne. So I think both the Freo mids will do quite well. I really like Jack Sinclair this week, along with Nazaya Wangani Malera against the Bulldogs. Yes, it's a tougher matchup, but they're just GDS pigs, as I like to call them. Nick Martin, another GDS pig. And when you get that 1.2 multiplier on him, that's mint. And then you go to Maxi Holmes, 204 with a gold card on the weekend against Gold Coast. Look,
that's ridiculous.
Rossco was telling me that Ed Richards might cop a Marcus Windhager tag. So look, I may try to pack someone a bit more enticing to put into this midfield position, but I really want to get on a Carlton midfield, and that's where Adam Chera, George Hewitt, those types. I'm debating strongly between those two. You have to get Jordan Dawson in. I mean, that's like, he is GDS. Yeah. He's like the number 1 player in Gameday Squad, whatever version of him you have. Tom De Conning, playing West Coast, great matchup there. Max Gawn is Max Gawn. Riley Thilthorpe's the interesting one. I feel like this could be a make or break. He's a really good player as a bronze card. As a gold card, is even better, but he does rely on a couple of goals. So going to be an interesting one there. I've gone Bailey Smith, Brian Myers, and then Luke Jackson, and a couple of forwards that a lot of people own. But that's my sort of contender squad for now.
Very tidy.
We'll see what packs and the auction market can help out with that. Tommy, I'm going to handball over to you. Rating out of 10 very quickly. What chance do I stand of getting an all-star player with this squad?
Mate, honestly, I'm going to give you a 9 out of 10, and I'm going to talk through some reasons why. I love some of the players you've targeted. Hugh McCluggage being one in particular. He's really sneaky good. I think when people think of the Lions, they go Josh Dunkley, Lachie Neale. But if you just have a look at how McCluggage has been playing, he just doesn't really get too much attention. And he just gets his hands on the ball all the time. Look at some of the scores there. He's apparently their 3rd best midfielder. And I could you could beg to differ that you could argue that case, especially in terms of fantasy. He's coming off 128 and 171 fantasy points. And as you mentioned, you're targeting a couple of point of difference players. That's exactly what you need to do. You've got Chera in there. They're versing West Coast this week. Chera could go nuts. He could have a massive performance. So I'm loving the strategy here, mate. I'm loving the squad. And absolutely, this is going to have a red-hot chance to perform really well.
Now, Janath, I just got a quick question for you, mate.
Go on, mate. Go on.
Now, I'm confused why you've got Riley Thilthorpe in there, because normally Riley Thilthorpe isn't so good in, other fantasy formats.
Yeah.
What is it about Gameday Squad that makes him so special?
Well, it's interesting you ask that, mate. It's the goals and the marks. So unlike Supercoach, you don't have the last minute scaling boosts or like disposal. Riley Thilthorpe could go at 10% efficiency and kick 7 goals somehow. Like, it's not possible, but hypothetical, let's say that happens. He's not getting docked down for the 10% efficiency. Stats are stats, and that's why I love GDS for that. It's very similar to fantasy, but some of the stats, like AFL fantasy, but some of the stats are scaled more. So I think for goals is a +8, Tom, if I'm not mistaken. +8. So those goal kickers, when they kick bags, they normally perform quite well. And that's when you have the versatility off like a Thilthorpe. He's not relying on goals. He gets hit outs. He kicks the ball well. He marks the ball well. He's the real package. And before, he scored 89 with my gold card. But before that, 124, 156, 104, 134. You take that any day of the week. The reason why I have the gold card here is I'm just looking for a bit of point of difference in the forward line, but perhaps it may be wise to bring Thilthorpe back to a bronze and upgrade a midfielder to a gold. But I really do want to see what I have to work with before the round starts.
Yeah, love it. It's a great squad. How good.
Yeah. I think I'm going to have to work really hard to find something that can beat that. And I'm sure there'll be plenty of other players that'll be out there trying to do their best as well. So it'll be tough competition. But
I know, man. Tommy,
with teams like this, you're every chance.
That's it. Like, this is no money spent. Like, haven't invested $1 into the game. Just have been playing it for 14 weeks now, and just consistently accruing these cards on the up, using packs that are reward packs at the end of rounds to sort of up the team. Tommy, I know that you also have a team which you made. Do you want to present that one and we can sort of compare and contrast?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me get this up on screen right now for you. I think you'll just need to put that through so it shares.
There you go, mate.
But before we talk about this squad and sort of the strategy that I think is going to work, I just wanted to mention we have launched a referral campaign for this week only. And what it's going to be is that if you're a brand new coach and you refer a friend to the platform, you do get a referral code. And I'll show you where you can get that. You can get your referral code. You'll just be on the dashboard, scroll down, and it's right there. So if you were to send your referral code to a friend and both of your accounts are verified, we're giving you a 9-player unique pack just for doing so. In addition to this, every single day this week, one lucky coach is going to win a 2025 All-Star card just for being verified on the platform and referring a friend that's verified. The way to let us know is either join the Discord and DM us saying that you've done that, or send us an email to contact@gamedaysquad.com.au and just let us know what the squad name of your friend is and the email, and we'll do all the rest of the magic for you. So again, if you've heard about Gameday Squad, you weren't too sure whether you were gonna play, now is the perfect time. Use code Peanut when sign up with the promo code screen. Then get your friend referred, and you are going to be laughing with the amount of player cards you have and ready to go for Contender.
Now,
so you're telling me that you're going to have 153 bronzes?
Yep.
3 9-player common packs?
Yep.
And a 9-player unique pack?
Yes.
If you sign up this week, refer your friend, and use our code Peanut.
That's exactly what I'm telling you, mate. So there is so many cards right there.
For us that are referring, can we refer multiple people to receive multiple unique packs?
You can refer multiple different friends, and then you can get the packs correct. But in terms of redeeming a code, you're only able to redeem once. You can't continue to go back and forth.
Obviously.
But I can send out my code to you, Janath.
Yes.
then to
Yeah.
Rossco. You both do it, and
Yeah.
then we're all getting unique packs for doing so.
Wowzers.
Cool. Bang.
Alrighty, but let's talk about this. Now, I haven't targeted round 14 in particular, so you're going to see some players here that are on bye. But what I'm trying to do, and I put some thought into this since we've released it, is what do I think the ultimate strategy is going to be moving forward? So you've touched on it before, Janath. You can have 5 golds, or you can have 10 silvers, or anywhere in between. What I really think is going to be the key here is it's going to be targeting players who have really good matchups and trying to get either a silver or a gold onto those players for the particular round. So I've just picked some of the better performing players over the season to put my gold on. But when I'm looking at a round to round and seeing who I'm going to be starting, I'm really going to be identifying, maybe some point of difference players. I'm going to be identifying some really strong matchups for players, plus matchups where if they go crazy, like Jordan Dawson can, he's 164 can turn into 197, or in between that as a silver. And that's just that extra boost that you may need to finish in the top 3 and score yourself an all-star card. So what I think you need to do is this. Get some bronzes in.
Yeah.
Get those big... You talked about Wayne Miller before. He's a stud. Just look at him and how he performs. He's super consistent. He's so good. Definitely one that you would want to put some salary cap on. Nick Dacos is just Nick Dacos. Hasn't played so good in some rounds, but look at this. 157, 152. That's exactly what we're looking for. The big X is just a machine. He ticks it over. He loves to get around it. And then, of
Bailey
course,
Smith.
I've got
Baz Langer.
Bailey Smith. If
That's
you have
the
a
best
silver or a
card.
gold of Baz, I would highly recommend getting him into your squad. He's probably not one of the big players you're going to want to fade and try to get a pod in for, because he's just the definition of consistency in this game. So I guess my strategy is trying to get golds and silvers on your best players for a round, and then just filling out the rest with bronzes and being really competitive in that sense.
Awesome.
100%. Even look at that Charlie Curnow sitting there in the forward line as well. Not someone we would
Cheeky,
normally
very cheeky.
associate.
Again,
But if
you said, Janath, with
can
Riley
get-
Thilthorpe. Those full
It is.
forwards, they kick goals, they score big.
I love it. That's it.
You get a mark,
That's it.
a kick, and a goal in Gameday Squad. It's worth about 20. Now, if you imagine you do that 6 or 8 times over, it's 160.
And he has
Just
the
crazy
ability,
scoring.
like Thilthorpe, to kick an absolute bag on his day. So he's definitely a player that if you can nail when to get him in your squad, he'll pay some really, really big dividends in terms of the score.
Yeah.
That's it. Do you know what, though,
100%.
Tommy? You're just waiting 2 more weeks to put a Chuck and Errol Goulden into here. I just know you. I know you too well.
Oh, goodness. I can't wait for my glorious king to be back, Errol Goulden. I'll tell you what, fantasy caps off. The Swans bloody need him. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But fantasy cap straight back on. He was a top 3 performing player in 2024 in our game. He just, we do 4 points for a kick in Gameday Squad, so a little different to other platforms. And he has the ability to average 18 kicks over a game, and he gets 20 plus kicks so often in his beautiful role. So, Janath, you read my mind. I absolutely am. I'm just hanging in there, mate. I'm waiting for the day. But Goulden will be back.
Beautiful. Well, I reckon that's a pretty decent summary of the Contender Competition. And if that doesn't get you excited to jump on board and give it a crack, then I don't think anything else ever will. Just seeing these teams, you don't need, to be able to afford them all like other formats. If you like them, you think they're going to score well, in this format, you can pick them. If you don't have them, jump on the Discord, and people are more than happy to negotiate trades with you. You get 153 bronzes in your starter packs. So the chances of you getting a lot of these players is actually pretty high already. Like, I think
Exactly
it's a no-brainer
right,
to jump on.
And let's say, for example, you have, 4 Bailey Smiths. Over my time, I've collected a couple of Bailey Smiths. You can go, you know what? I don't have Maxi Holmes. I can list him up, try to get myself a bronze Max Holmes to get in the Contender. So whether it's the Discord or you just want to list up some cards on the transfer market, there is a chance to always score some upgrades, irrespective of where you started and when you've started on the platform.
Yeah. That's so good.
Yeah. Absolutely buzzing.
Let's go. Well, look, if you guys do need any help, I must say, reach out to us on any of our socials. If you've got any questions, anything like that, at Gameday Squad. Rossco, you mentioned the Discord. We do have a ticket system there where you can have live support from our team. There's so many ways you can get in touch. We can help you out. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to shoot them across to any of our socials or ask the big fellas on screen. I'm sure they can help you out as well.
Yeah,
but fellas,
100%.
round 14, I'm pumped. I cannot wait. I'm so keen. I know you guys are frothing as well. It's going to be a round to remember. And Janath, maybe we'll see you get that all-star card with that beautiful squad you showed us before. Let's go.
Oh, come on. Fingers crossed.
So, pretty much to sum it up, jump on Gameday Squad Contender. You get your starter packs. Use the code PEANUT for those 3x9 common player packs. If you refer friends, each time you do that, you're both verified. You get yourself a 9-player unique pack as well, valued at $50. We'll make another little video, drop that on the channel as well, as to make it really easy for you how to do that. Any questions, feel free to shoot us a message, drop it in the comments, DM us on Twitter, jump on the Discord, whatever you like. Just get around it and we'll have lots of fun. Even next
and remember,
season.
Two things very quickly. Make sure to use the code PEANUT and make sure to refer a friend, because if you use the code PEANUT and you use the code friend, you're going to have a team that for those that have played Gameday Squad before, you're not going to be in a starting position like that. Like normally, this is incredible. Like this is when you should be getting on. Get on it.
Absolutely. Incredible offer. It ends on Sunday for the referrals. So make sure you're getting busy before this round. If you miss the cutoff for the start of the round, that's okay. Just get it in before Sunday. And again, we're giving away an all-star card every single day up until Sunday. So tomorrow is a beautiful day to do it. If you ask me, you'll get multiple chances at that role.
That's it.
Beautiful. Sounds brilliant. Well, cheers, Tommy, for jumping on. Hopefully, we've all really helped clear that up for you guys watching at home. And we hope to see all of you on Gameday Squad this weekend. Drop your comments, anything you need to know. But we'll be around. We'll be ready to go. So
thanks, Legends,
let's
for having
go.
me. I cannot
14.
wait.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Let's get it in the bag.
Come on.
All right.
Cheers.
Thanks for tuning into the channel, guys. Keep your eyes peeled for more Gameday Squad content coming out before the start of round 14. We are all around it. Looking forward to it. Have a great night, everyone. And we hope to see you all soon again on the channel.
Peace out, everyone.
Pieces.